Observations with Robert Meyer Burnett.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, and your fanatical aging man-child, Robert Meyer Burnett, and this is Fully Articulated, episode 11. And it wouldn't be an episode of Fully Articulated if I did not have my compatriot, my favorite man all the way from the UK, as HeelsvsBabyFace himself. Welcome, Az. How are things in the UK?
Good. Well, good. I found my charger to my clippers, and so the out of control Trump gross depression beard has been somewhat tamed.
You look fly.
And the head's now doing what it should be doing, which is accepting baldness. So yeah, and I started my day off well. I watched V for Vendetta, and then I followed that up with Equilibrium, whichever one you prefer. And I was thinking, wow, I was just seeing two movies about dystopian futures.
Yeah.
And they're both better than ours. Isn't that just crazy? It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy, to be honest. What can I say?
Well, the V for Vendetta was kind of getting way too close to the bone for my liking.
Well, you know, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot, right?
Oh, aye.
And that's something we never really had here growing up, because obviously we're not British, but still, not bad. Not bad.
No, you do all right for you have Thanksgiving. We don't have Thanksgiving, you see, so we have bonfire night to celebrate burning somebody alive.
Is that true?
Well, bonfire, yeah, but I mean, bonfire night is it's a deterrent, really. It kind of celebrates the execution of Guy Fawkes. He was the one who.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Well, yeah, okay.
Blow Parliament. So yeah.
Wow.
You don't celebrate that. Not that we don't celebrate. You know,
Americans like Guy Fawkes. What are you talking about?
Guy Fawkes?
We don't. What? We don't know. We have no idea. So
does he play for the Rams or something?
Yeah, no. What are you gonna do? But so there's, we have a lot of news, by the way, a lot of sort of breaking news that has landed, and I think it's actually kind of exciting. And I first wanted to talk about today. We've talked about it on the show. Exo-6, our new mysterious Star Trek action figure company. We know their first release is Data from First Contact. That's on pre-order. I've got mine.
Are we still just stuck on a front on a onesie of me?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I must be way behind.
Oh, are you way behind? We are not stuck on a onesie of you. I'm looking at.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
I'm looking at your face right now. So,
I was getting paranoid.
Oh no. So we today they put up for pre-order on the Exo-6 site. As you know, I made sure you knew. They put up Picard. Their Picard figure. Now, let me ask you before I show this Picard figure, what do you think of the Picard First Contact figure?
I really like it, actually. The head sculpt is he looks really good in certain positions.
That's what I thought too.
And in other positions, it's like so it's kind of on a sort of profile and side shot. It actually looks really good, but when it's like front on, you sort of like,
yeah. It looks a little thick. He looks a little heavy. Patrick Stewart's kind of a thin guy, and he looked a little beefier in the head sculpt.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't seen it, here's what we'll show the figure. Here is the Picard. Now, this is sort of, I think he looks really good here. This is him obviously on the bridge. Now, X06 is also making a command chair for Picard, which I think is great. So you can, if you just get Data, the First Contact Data, and Picard, you can have a nice little display with them sitting in the command chair. Now, what I love about this figure is that he has the option of, you can go with his standard Starfleet uniform, or he comes with the vest. So here he is with the vest that goes over, which I think is outstanding. See, again, I think this head sculpt looks great. He's a man of action. He's holding a phaser rifle from First Contact, and I think this all looks pretty damn good. And here is Picard. This is more of a front-on shot. Now, like what you were talking about, as this is him doing the Picard maneuver. Maybe the way the shadows fall, it doesn't look as great. But I still think this is definitely, you know, a figure. Like, here's another look, and he looks pretty good from this angle as well. So, look, I'm really excited. X06 is a new company. We have yet to see their first release. Now, I didn't even know they put up their data for pre-order on their own site. But judging from the photos that we've seen and shown, it looks like they're, as I talked to Justin about last night, they're manufacturing their own figures. Mm-hmm. And so it looked like they're releasing, as we reported, 5 other. They're doing Captain series. They're doing Kirk in his wraparound green tunic, Picard in his Darmok jacket, Cisco from Dominion War era with the First Contact uniform, which I thought was smart, Janeway, and they're doing Scott Bakula, of course, as Captain Archer. And I think what's cool about that is they're giving us figures that we haven't really seen in 6 scale before, iterations of those figures. And so if you want to have a display of the captains, you can. I think they're making really smart choices. I think it was a great way to lead off with First Contact figures, because obviously the best of the Next Generation movies, and they're figures that can come with weapons. And with Data, he's got a different head sculpt, and doing that, offering the vest with the Picard, I thought it was a really smart way to go, as far as, because, you know, Star Trek has kind of had a problem. The problem is it doesn't appeal to toy collectors the way other franchises do, because they're not as toy-like. I mean, Star Trek is not an action franchise, so there's not a lot of accessories, there's not a lot of weapons. It's not like they're Jedi Knights with lightsabers. I mean, you know. So what are your overall impressions about what this new company is doing? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what it's like, because how are their bodies? And we both pre-ordered that Data, right? You did.
Yep. I just want to say one thing on the Picard just before I do that. When I got the other Picard from the other company, which escapes me at the moment, at QMX, was it QMX?
Yeah, yes, you have that.
Yeah. When I got that one, the head sculpt on that was much better in person. When you actually see it in person,
yes,
it was much better than the photographs that they'd put out. And I do think this looks fantastic. So I'm kind of thinking, I bet when this arrives, the head sculpt's actually going to be really, really good. Right. And it might just be a little bit of the lighting or something which just maybe makes it look a little bit off at times. But I think you're absolutely right. I think the decisions that they're making in terms of the releases is very smart. I mean, we were talking about Borg and Borg Queen, and we were kind of going down that avenue. But yeah, I think you've gone down a slightly clever avenue, which was what can unite all of the brands? Well, it's the captains.
Right, exactly.
People gravitate probably more towards the captains than any other member of the crew, or at least they are the most most in the public awareness, the public sphere.
Yep.
So to be able to have a Kirk next to a Picard, next to a Cisco, next to a Janeway, next to an Archer, is a great thing to have. So yes, you could have a wonderful little display of the evolution of Star Trek captains. With Archer, of course, we're going to go down a completely different route with the uniform, because the uniforms obviously changed slightly during the next generation time period, which 3 of the brands were all in. But with Archer being the first, NX-01, we're going to get the more jumpsuit, the change again in the coordination schemes for the different branches. We've not seen a Janeway. It's going to be great to have a Janeway. It's going to be great to have a Cisco. I want a Darmok Picard as well.
I know. I love that jacket.
I don't know.
That the Dharma, the 5th season Picard. Why not go for that?
Yeah, but clever move. Very clever move to do. And then maybe, because they start off with Data again, another very popular character. Maybe then we'll start to see maybe Spocks and but we don't know. We think there's a Pike coming as well.
Right. I mean that is true, and I'm again that's a very interesting. We don't know if there's a Pike, but maybe there is.
I mean, just because they show 5 captains doesn't mean that it's limited to 5 captains.
Right, exactly. No, 100%.
So after the captains have been dealt with, maybe we will see your Spock. Maybe we will see McCoy again. Maybe we will see. Maybe they will go bold and go Riker or Worf, or LaForge. They might make a bold decision. But I guess it all depends on how well they sell.
Right. I mean, it always comes down to that. How well do they sell? Now, we because it was obviously May the 4th be with you yesterday. There has been a lot of Sideshow dropped a lot of Star Wars stuff. Did you see everything that they have dropped?
Well, if everything is...
I mean, not everything. I mean, in terms of Hot Toys and 12-inch figures.
In terms of 12-inch, yeah. Well, I think so. There was really two main things, wasn't it?
Oh, well, actually, they had. I thought that there was as well, but Justin showed me that there was in fact more. And, okay. I will bring them all up and show them to you as I'm pulling them. If you'll have to excuse me for a minute because I'm still downloading as I'm putting them up as I go along and I do this. But I was surprised. I didn't realize that there was as much as there actually was. And actually, there's. I keep looking at now. They dropped even more stuff today because now is Revenge of the 5th, of course. So. Yeah, so the first of these things, I guess the big things, I mean, they're all kind of big, I suppose, was the Bad Batch is getting Hot Toys figures. And as we see, the Bad Batch, here is the first one they're releasing is Echo. And here's Echo, and I think Echo looks pretty damn good. I mean, I'm surprised, like with everything else, they're Johnny on the spot with at least Hot Toys is Johnny on the spot with these figures because I think that I'm glad to see that we don't, as soon as these new shows are coming out, of course we have to wait until frickin' 2022 to actually get them, but I guess it's still pretty cool. I really think this figure looks great. I like the different mixing and matching of various iterations of stormtroopers and clone troopers and all that. And then they've also shown not just Echo, but Hunter. A 6-scale Hunter has also been released, and this Hunter figure looks pretty damn good. I mean, this character Hunter is only available as it's a preview figure, but the fact that they have it out there, and you can't really see it, but they have like a logo that shows all of the Bad Batch characters. Did you watch the first episode of the Bad Batch yet?
No, I saw the Clone Wars episode where the Bad Batch first featured.
Right.
And I wasn't particularly enamored with them.
Yeah, no, me
Apart
neither.
from Echo. because Echo, of course, has a big history in
Yes.
So to have Echo as part of that group, and it was it was nice that Echo actually survived, because we thought Echo was dead.
Yes.
And he was being horrendously tortured and whatnot. So I have pre-ordered the Echo.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But I don't know if I'm gonna go any further than that.
All right. I understand. It's a pretty dope thing, but what they also released, and I got to say, look, I love me some creatures. And I have a 6 scale Tauntaun, a 6 scale Dewback, and the speeder bikes, which I didn't get the Mandalorian speeder bike, but it's pretty nifty. They released this. Now, if you don't have an original Mandalorian figure, if you didn't pick that up, which is now skyrocketed in value, they've released this lovely 2-pack, which is the Mandalorian and the Blurg. And this is the original Mandalorian with the Blurg. And they're also selling, if you do have that Mando figure already, it's not being sold as a 2-pack only. You can also get the Blurg by itself if that's what you want. So you already have the Mando, so you can, in fact, buy the Blurg if you want it. So what do you think? Are you going to Blurg out?
Well, I gotta say, I'm pissed.
Are you?
Because I have this great hot toy figure which is skyrocketed in price, and the first thing they do is re-release it straight away. It's like, you bastards.
Yeah, but you were never gonna part with your figure.
No, I know,
kidding?
but it's all about image, and it's all about one-upmanship. And so,
well, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah, it's all about flexing. It's all about the flex.
It is all about flexing. By God,
I don't know. I don't know. I like I said the other week, I'm really in this weird. Well, not so weird, but I'm really in this sort of screw you for what you've done, Disney attitude. You're lucky I've ordered Echo. Do I want to go and spend another 250 quid, 300 quid after shipping, 350 quid after fees, import fees on a Blurg? And I don't know is the answer.
Well,
it's not the most dynamic of creatures.
No, but
and I can't really say what I want to say it looks like.
A shit tadpole? I don't know. What do you want to say it looks like?
Well, there was definitely tadpole, but the first word was definitely not shit. It was a little bit more mentally challenged, shall we say?
Well, it's I look again, just to have creatures to display stuff on. I do love that. Something else that's not up for order.
No, it's okay. I'm here. I'm here.
It's not up for order, but I have spoken of Killy. Cool. How do you pronounce his name? Kulil? I don't know. Quill. I have spoken. Either way, Hot Toys is making him. There he is, Nick Nolte himself. I love this, an Ugnaught. I really like getting this figure. I think it looks great. I can't wait to get this. I love this Quill. So what do you think? Are you going to pick him up? Uh-oh. Not a resounding excitement from Az.
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no? All right.
I'm going to say no currently, yeah.
All right. No, currently, that's good. That's fine. You can. You're definitely welcome to say no. Another thing,
there's nothing intrinsically wrong with it, but I want a Cara Dune.
I want a Cara Dune too,
and I want a Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think these figures are way more important than Quill, who got bumped off in season 1.
Right, in season 1.
So we've already had another season since. And we still haven't had either of those characters. Now, obviously, with this situation with Gina Carano, I very, very much doubt we're ever going to see a licensed Cara Dune. We might see a third-party Cara Dune.
Right.
But we're definitely not going to see a licensed one unless something incredible happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd rather have, I'd rather have the Forge Master than
the armor
something like that. Yeah. So
what a great figure that would be.
I'm just sort of, I don't see to coin the word that you like to coin from Justin. I don't see the toyetic nature of this. I see a diorama with a, but this character to me seems to rest off them thinking
his catchphrase.
Well, no, they'll buy the Mando with the blurg, then they'll buy a separate blurg, then they'll get Quill. So I think that's what they're kind of relying off with this situation here,
right?
And it's not tickling my scroll.
I know. I just got an email from Elizabeth. She's like, "I want it."
Which Quill or the blurg?
Quill. She wants the blurg too.
She wants. Okay.
I'm sure. Now this is pretty toyetic. I mean, you can never get enough stormtroopers, and they have put this up for the fan event. The artillery stormtrooper that has the cannon. I think this is a pretty dope. The yellow stormtrooper. I like this. I think this is. I mean, look, they can milk clone troopers and stormtroopers until the cows come home because they'll always sell them. And I think this looks great. And in addition to that, they've also announced a Stormtrooper Commander, which is kind of like a Sand Trooper, but he's got, a different gun, and he's got more weathering because he's a Mando. He's a Mando Stormtrooper, which, is pretty dope. So I don't know. Do you need more Stormtroopers for your collection?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right then.
Everyone, the annoying thing about the Stormtrooper Commander is all you do is take the pauldron off and bingo jingo, you've got the Stormtroopers that you want.
Right, exactly. But this is pretty cool. Both of these are cool.
Well, okay. I mean, the heavy artillery will be great. It will go well with the flame trooper that I have. Yeah,
which is also a cool figure with the red.
Which is a great figure. That is a great figure. I do love the flame trooper a lot, actually. It kind of grows on you more and more.
It does.
And the artillery one would be great. The heavy artillery one would be great to have with that. I need regular stormtroopers. I do need them. And
but you can never have too many.
And my bank account's just like, we make some fucking videos then. So yes, I can see myself doing some damage in terms of. But like you said, they're the toyetic ones. They're the ones that people really want and really they'll eat them up. They're iconic. Stormtroopers. Yeah.
Everyone looks at stormtroopers and goes, badass. And what I love about they did something very smart because of the time of the Mandalorian. They could have, redesigned the stormtroopers, but those stormtrooper designs are so iconic. I mean, they look just as fresh as they looked 44 years ago in 1977.
Yeah. If they were invented, if Mandalorian started 2 years ago, and that was the first time we ever saw a stormtrooper, we'd be going, these are great.
Great.
Look at the design of these. These are fantastic.
Yes.
And let's face it, when you're late at night with the missus, and she says she's gonna say slip the stormtrooper outfit on, darling. She ain't gonna say do the Quill cosplay, darling. That's not gonna happen.
Take me in your full suit of armor, honey.
Yeah, put me in your artillery commander.
There you go. This is kind of cool. Another, again, not up for pre-order, but they showed it. Another Mandalorian 2-pack. It's the Mandalorian and Swoop bike. We saw the Mandalorian riding not a speeder, but a Swoop bike in the Mandalorian. This comes with yet another Grogu. Now, this is a Mandalorian in full Beskar armor. I mean, I love the Swoop bike. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Swoop bike. But again, if it's a 2-pack, they're probably not going to give you the option of buying it without the Mandalorian figure, which means this is going to be a $400 or $500 set. What do you think? Are you going to drop the green on a Swoop? Oh, actually, not all your money's green, but would you drop would you drop the quid for a Swoop bike?
No. I have a full Beskar Mando. I have I think 3 Grogus, maybe 2.
Right.
2 or 3 Grogus, including in the cot.
Yes.
I have a Mando in OG gear. I have because of having those 2, they have the accessories to cut them either pre-stamp or post-stamp. I can do what I want to make them look whichever way they look now in the series. The Swoop bike to me I can't justify shilling out to get another Mando, to get another Grogu, just to get that. No. I was okay, inflection at the end, to do a pre-order for the Speeder bike and Scout Rider.
Right.
Because they're both very iconic, because they're Return of the Jedi iconic.
Yeah.
So I saw value in that, but I don't see value in the Swoop bike for Tatooine.
All right. Speaking of Grogu, they are releasing, probably not unexpected, they are releasing a Grogu in a pram and 6 scale that comes with a box to carry around in, a swaddled Grogu, and like a cat that we met, I think, in Rebels, and a frog. So and with multiple head sculpts, but I mean, to me, like, what are they going to charge? Like, I think Justin said it was like $230. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. I mean, really, I like the cat. The cat's pretty cool, but like the Grogu, I don't even think it's a full Grogu, and I again, we're going to have so many, I understand they're milking Grogu. Grogu is like, it's a license to print money, but for something like this, I don't know. What do you think? Would you, again, would the quid fall from your wallet on something like this Grogu?
No.
Yeah, me
wow.
neither.
Dude, this is the show that always says yes.
I know.
And how many times have we said no today?
Well, I'll tell you, though. I mean, this isn't for purchasing. Like, that, we're just asking, would we be interested in that? We don't buy every single figure that comes out. We're still discerning as.
Sure.
We are not. We don't shill on this company or on this show. We don't shill for companies. We buy what we like.
Yes.
Now,
I can't justify. I've got a cot there. It's got a Grogu in it that's peering over the edge. I can close it. I can pose it next to regular Mando. I can pose it next to OG Mando because of the nature of the base.
Yeah.
Do I need it in swaddling like little baby Jesus? No. Do I need the cat? It's cute, but no. Do I need the frog? No. I see no value. On a personal level, I see no value.
All right. I think that's honest. I think it's honest. Now, a couple more things. Sideshow itself, not on the Hot Toys tip, is kind of doing something. I'll be curious to hear what you think about these. They've always, even when Sideshow was doing 6-scale Clone Wars figures, they were always doing them not in the animation style, but as if they were real figures that you could mix and match with any Star Wars 6-inch, Star Wars. But now, they announced yesterday, they are doing 2 Clone Wars animation style figures. They're doing both Anakin. Here is animation style Anakin, and obviously cloth, but they are in the style of the Clone Wars animated series, and they're also doing an animated Obi-Wan. And I looked at these, and I never thought I'd be interested in something like this. However, seeing these 2 figures, seeing the Anakin and the Obi-Wan with these cloth uniforms, and even the anime or the CG faces, the Clone Wars animation, I think that they're pretty damn cool. And if you get nothing other than, if they only make these 2, I don't know if they're going to make any more, they're pretty dope. I really like them. What say you?
Oh, they're great.
Aren't they great?
Justin
and I were waxing rhapsodic about these as well, and I'm like, I don't know why. I thought they're beautiful too. I thought they are beautiful too.
That Anakin is superb. I think the Anakin is slightly better than the Obi-Wan. But my goodness, that Anakin is just perfect.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, I'll throw these up one more time. I really like this Anakin. I think it looks great. And for some reason, I really get off on the fact that these animated figures, I wouldn't have thought I would, but I really do like the figures. And they have not announced a Clone Wars Obi-Wan figure. They've got the Clone Wars Anakin with the stap coming out. But then you've got in the realistic format. But we are getting a Clone Wars Obi-Wan, and again, I think these figures look pretty damn cool. I think it's so good, right? They're so good, huh?
That head sculpt is incredible.
It really is. It's really great. And now, the one other thing that Sideshow announced today, and again, it's very funny.
Come with the armor. I wonder if it'll come with the armor as an option.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be pretty good.
This is latter Clone Wars.
Yeah, and
this isn't early Clone Wars. This is latter because Obi-Wan's only got his armored bands on, and they both lost the armored. Also shoulders.
Now, what I find interesting about this is I thought the last Sideshow 6-scale Star Wars figure they were going to produce was Lando in his skiff guard disguise. So, and I think that is in their quote-unquote realistic format, whereas they can get away with doing 6-scale animation versions of Clone Wars figures because I think now Hot Toys has the exclusive license. But what they did drop today, which is pretty interesting, is they're re-releasing, and I think they probably have to clear this through Hot Toys, but Hot Toys hasn't made one. They're re-releasing their General Grievous figure from Revenge of the Sith. And so, again, I think that because they've already put it out before, they can get away with reissuing, I always thought this figure was pretty damn good, and it's cool to see them re-releasing this. Not my favorite character in Revenge of the Sith, but what do you think? I mean, do you have a General Grievous? Are you interested?
No,
in Grievous?
I'm gonna eat this up like a I was gonna say a fat boy, but like I eat cake. This is gonna be an absolute. They did Grievous. They did him much better in the series, in the Clone Wars series. Yes. They got rid of the stupid cough and know and all that, and they actually made him feel like a threat.
Yep.
I have so many of the Clone Wars stuff either here or on pre-order that that has to be added to the Clone Wars group. So yeah, I think it looks brilliant as well.
Yeah, it was a good figure. I mean, it's cool to see them reissue it. So as far as May the 4th be with you, as far as Hot Toys and Sideshow go for 6-scale Star Wars, I mean, there's a lot more stuff that we don't normally cover. There's statues, there's all kinds of things, bobbleheads. But I think that, respectable release of figures, interesting stuff there. Can't complain.
Well, I can complain. I there was still no Obi-Wan
Clone Wars Obi-Wan. Yeah. I don't know why they haven't released that yet. I mean, you'd think that they would announce that stuff. Obviously, the Clone Wars Anakin with the stap is really, really cool. And you're right. I mean, that's the one thing Justin said. Why aren't they going to release that? I don't know.
Especially with an Obi-Wan series in the making, it's a very popular character. And you want it to go with that. Anakin.
Yeah.
But
Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was obviously storage. We've been talking about Moji cases. Everybody's talking about Moji cases. And yesterday on Justin's stream, it was brought to my attention that there is a new display case player in town called Terra Vault. Generations ahead of its kind, the world's first smart display cabinet. Unlike Moji Case, which I love the idea of Moji Case because you can always add things. This is more like a cross between a bigger DTOF from IKEA and a Moji Case. And I'd never heard of this company, but I wanted to. Here is the Terra Vault. Now, what makes these cases so amazing to me is obviously they're big, they're all adjustable, but they have wiring and electronics in them that you can mix and match whatever lighting system you want in there, and then you also can do USB plugins wherever you want on these. And because they're LEDs, they have the advantage of being able to make them. Here's a, like, I love this. This is a chair. This is their unicorn mode, where they've got obviously a number of these. This is a whole room, but because they're LEDs, you can make them like this, or they've got, that's unicorn mode. This is sci-fi mode, and this is battle mode, where you can make all of your shelves different colored lighting depending on your mood. I really love this idea. And then here is a schematic that shows how you can adjust figures. They can be all the way up to quarter scale, depending on 6 scale, 9th, 8th, 12th, whatever you want to do. And you can add as many shelves as you want in these cases. I think these are actually pretty nifty and pretty elegant. And then here are the accessories that you can get. Very different plugs. You can add more lights. You can add more shelves. You can have a LED light at the top that shows down. You can do a lot of different things. And these are quite, I thought these were quite impressive. I'd never heard of them. If you order them now, like Modu cases, they're not available until July. And they are not cheap.
No.
They're not cheap at all. I mean, we're talking for the big ones like $2,000, depending on what your accessories, what you have, what you get with them. But the version with the top light, the Sentinel X, is $1,900. And I don't know. What do you think? What are your impressions of the Terra Vault shelving units?
Oh, I think they're beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
They do look absolutely beautiful. This is kind of like the perfect kind of cabinet that you want, really.
I know, it really is.
They are steep. There's no denying that. You got to take into consideration not just the flat price, but you have to consider shipping. You have to consider, for me, overseas shipping.
Yeah.
You have to take into consideration room space. It's like, but God damn it, are they nice? And part of me would just love to get, just try one to see what one would be like.
Right.
It's.
But can you, come on, man? Can you just do one? Could you?
Well, I got like 10 Modu cases D60s on order, which is, and those D60s, because the modular, they can go different places. A cabinet's a cabinet.
Right. It's true.
The modular cases can go different places. But these cases do look great. They're not as deep as I would like them to be. I think there's maybe a little bit on depth here.
Yeah. Yes. And the Modu cases are deeper.
And you can't really get anything behind. It's kind of like a row and that's it.
Yeah.
So there are issues, shall we say. But if you are just looking to display, standard display, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean they do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with them, but yeah, they're steep. I just like the fact that they offer a lot of choices in terms of lighting, which
but that's something that you can play with much cheaper through LEDs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I understand the what's the word I'm looking for? The convenience.
Yes.
Of it all, to have it inbuilt, ready to rumble. The convenience of just having USB set up must be really nice and easy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just that depth. If it was deep enough for two, I'd be really, really kind of thinking about it. I just think, and it's that which is sort of holding me back.
Yeah, I know. And having just seen them, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm pretty impressed. But again, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see. Obviously, it'd be great if you could see them up against one another. So like you could actually see a Maji case, but I don't know if that'll ever happen.
I would like to see them with figures.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them in use. I'd like to see how much space there is to play. And if it is more than I think it is, oh great, okay, but it's difficult unless we get some sort of benchmark to measure it from.
Yeah. Now, I want to show you one last thing as far as news goes. Now, I know your feelings, I think, on this, but I want to show this figure first before another Hot Toys figure that has been dropped since last week. And that would be, of course, Captain America. The Captain America, the Sam Wilson Captain America figure, which very expensive. It's retails for $370. But I think the engineering on this figure is pretty, extraordinary. And I want to just come through a few images. Here's the wings in their full glory. And, of course, they have recreated the ability of Sam to use the wings as a shield, like we saw in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And I think, once again, Hot Toys, this face sculpt is very, very impressive. And Justin actually did a look at this figure, and he was very impressed with it. But as a figure, maybe not as a reflection of the show, what are your thoughts?
As a reflection of the show, no. As a figure, it's very toyetic. It does look really, as a figure, it's kind of hits all the right notes.
Right.
In terms of, it's summertime. I have my studio lights on, and now I just get moths coming in all the time, and it's driving me freaking insane.
I won't hold it against you.
Moths bloody summer. I mean, I love you, but summer. So yeah, as a figure, sure, it looks great. You have these massive wings, and it's very colorful, and it's red, white, and blue, and it's all got all that kind of patriotic aspect to it. So as a figure, I could see why people would be attracted to it and why they would pick it up. It is an expensive one. It's definitely an expensive one, comparative. That's very likely due to the, size of the wings and the articulation that's had to go probably into the creation of these wings as well. But yeah, as a figure, it's very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll want to buy that golden Wonder Woman figure from Wonder Woman 84, and you can display them both flying together with their wings.
Well, I do actually have that on pre-order.
Me too, because it's the Kingdom Come. It's the Kingdom Come Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Although the Kingdom Come one's slightly better, but
yeah,
because it comes with the scarf, and the Kingdom Come one doesn't have like the leg armor and stuff.
No.
Or thigh armor, I should really say. But yeah, it's as close as we're ever going to get to a Kingdom Come Wonder Woman.
It is.
So yeah, sure. I'm okay to have even though I didn't like Wonder Woman 84, I thought it was a terrible film.
I wasn't a fan either.
Having, such a love for Kingdom Come, like I said, it's the closest we're ever going to get. So I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I won't take Black Falcon though.
You won't?
No.
Black.
I'm not taking, not to lower, but I'm not taking a tokenized character. Thank you.
All right, I understand, but it's a great toy. It's a great figure.
It's a great toy. It's a great figure, but I'm not buying the tokenistic propaganda.
Fair enough. Now, that's all I wanted to cover in terms of the week's news. That was good news. Always good news when these figures.
Yeah, great stuff.
All it just makes me realize is I need to work harder, because how am I gonna? I'll be in the poorhouse.
I was gutted there wasn't a John Walker announced.
I don't understand that. Now here's the thing: would you want John Walker in his final form of the U.S. agent, or would you want the John Walker version of Captain America? Because you've got the blue and then you've got the black, the U.S. agent.
Yeah. I would personally prefer the Cap Walker. However, if they just said we're releasing John Walker and it's U.S. agent, I would take U.S. agent. Yeah,
me too. I mean, I like the black suit, and because he's got a long history in the comics, it would be cool to get that outfit. But I hope they do release a John Walker. I would really like to see that. And I don't know if they will, but I certainly hope they do. Now let me ask you, being lame and not having anything that I'm going to show, you said you have things to show.
I have interesting things to show. First of all, let's grab the easiest one. She came. So did I. She came. Oh, Tifa entered my life, and I entered. Anyway, it's arrived. She's absolutely gorgeous.
What scale is this? Is this?
It's got to be about 1 in. It's got to be about 1 in 8. Maybe, about 1 in 8. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, maybe 1 in 7. 1 in 7, 1 in 8. It's kind of.
It looks great, though.
Oh, she's absolutely fantastic. Is our Tifa? I mean, for that front cover, it's just gorgeous, But I know there's reflections, so I'm trying hard to not reflect. But Tifa's coming. So we've got Barrett and Tifa so far. I think Aerith is the next two to go.
No, are those Japanese?
Because they're from Square Enix, so they're Japanese. Yeah, okay. This isn't a toy, but I just want to show it off anyway because this arrived today.
Ooh.
Invincible #1.
Nice. That's in beautiful condition.
It's in pretty decent. There's a few nicks here and there, but it's in pretty good condition for a first print, 2003. Robert Kirkman, and obviously with the absolute rave reviews that the show's got, which I thought was fantastic as well. I thought that's a little potential investment thing to hold on to. I have a 1 in 6 hot toy because this isn't the so I got something really interesting to show afterwards. And it's the Spider-Man.
Oh.
It's Spider-Man in his upgraded suit. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a beautiful figure.
Beautiful white spider on the back as well there. And I've put different eyes in, so he's kind of like, what the deuce is like his spidey senses going off.
What's going on?
What's going on here?
I love, they did that with Deadpool too. I love the fact that they make those magnetic swappable eyes.
Oh yeah, these are like clip in. They just like clip in, clip out.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's magnetic. Oh. But they gave quite a few, so you can kind of try and get some different eye poses. The feet, or the outfit is just superb, and it is exceptionally flexible. That you can get him in some pretty decent positions, which I've had. However, I've straightened it out for the time being because it does bend the costume.
Yeah.
So I was worried about getting creases on the costume, but having just put it back to normal after having it in a bit of a pose for a while, everything seems to have just fallen back into place. So the elasticity of the outfit must, thankfully, be quite rigid at the moment. And then let me move this microphone here. I mean, if I was to show you something like this, Robert,
I would be intrigued. What might that be? What is that? I don't know, Az. Uh-oh.
Let me pick this one up here. Maybe.
Is that from a third party?
No, not that one. It's like Christmas. It's like picking which one for Christmas to open.
Uh-oh.
I think I know the one that we should open for Christmas. Let's try.
Uh-oh.
Let's try this one.
Oh, no. Is that what I think it is?
If I was to open up this and take this out.
I think I know what you got.
Nice and easy. Gotta be very careful. You don't want to break anything. Oh, it slides out. Oh! I appear to have the roof of a Justice Mobile.
Oh.
And
wow.
all of that,
Wait. Can you hold that up again? I'll look at the weathering and the...
the weathering is pretty superb.
Wow, dude. That thing is huge.
It's fucking massive. Now, all of the things which I've just shown up, this is the Justice Mobile add-on kit.
Right, to make it
This is the cannon. This is the cannon and the missiles and the Gatling guns which get added to the Justice Mobile. And look at this is the cannon that goes into the spare seat. Look at that. That is 50 cal. That's like 250 cal.
Wow.
And look at the weathering on the top.
That's amazing.
So good. And the plate arrived today. The base.
Oh,
plate.
yeah. Yep.
The Justice Mobile didn't know.
It's coming.
And they were all shipped apparently at the same time. So how these two arrived today and the Justice Mobile didn't, I don't know. But yes, they are the missile launchers. They are the extra Gatling guns that come up for the final fight in Justice League. It's the huge cannon which takes out the tower that Steppenwolf has set up his base in. So yes, they all arrived today, and they just seeing the side of one. This is one half of the roof to open up.
Yeah.
So that the thing comes out about here, and then the back. This Justice Mobile is going to be freaking huge.
Huge.
And when I saw the plate, the base plate that arrived to mount the Justice Mobile on, that was massive, ladies. That was absolutely massive. So yeah, this arrived today, and I was very excited, very happy, and then quite sad that the Justice Mobile didn't actually turn up. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you can feel. Oh yeah. So this is. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me. So if that goes like that, then this. You can see that this is actually how it's going to open up.
That is. I mean.
So there's. There's. That would. Yeah. I don't want to do anything to agitate it. Yeah, so that's how it would open up. You can see the join there. Yeah. So it looks like the Justice Mobile is moments away from being delivered.
That is amazing. Now, what's interesting is watching everybody's going crazy with their pictures online, so people can see it. I'm gonna throw up a photograph. This is Jazz Inc. We talk about them. It's got the base that you have. It doesn't have all the accessories in it, but this is a picture of the Justice Mobile. It is 6 scale, It does fit 2 Hot Toys 6-scale figures in it. So this is what the Justice Mobile will look like, but you can't really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you have it in hand as we are holding on to it, because this thing, you can't judge how big this actually is until you have seen it. And it is quite large, and they're doing great stuff. Actually, that reminds me, there is news on the Jazz Inc. front that I find particularly interesting. And I think that it's it's going to be massive so Jazz Inc. looks like they announced publicly on their Facebook page. Yost did a video where he says, indeed, it looks like a deal is imminent with Warner Brothers. So you will be able to get all the things that you wanted to make.
Well, I hope he puts it back up for pre-order.
Yeah, but I mean, your Batman, your Batcave computer, and all the things that you've been paying for.
Oh yeah.
So those will get made. For those people who came in late, Jazz Inc. Jazz Inc. Dioramas is a third-party company in the Netherlands, and they were making these things. They're not licensed, but Warner Brothers came after them, and now they're actually going to perhaps get a license from Warner Brothers. So that's pretty cool. And they make all kinds of things. They also make Star Wars dioramas, and this is something I forgot to bring up. So I have this. This is their Millennium Falcon cargo hold, which is where the holographic chest set is. And Jazz Inc. makes like 6th scale sets. So this is the Millennium Falcon cargo hold that they've made, and it's kind of got half the corridor opening. But now what they're doing, what I think is genius, Jazz Inc. decided that they're going to build the entire cargo hold for the Millennium Falcon, and Yost put up a schematic of what that's going to look like. So look at this picture, and when you look at this picture, so you see where it's in the corner. They're adding so if you have this corner piece, you'll already have that, but if you want to pick it up, they have it now for pre-order. Here is the entire Millennium Falcon cargo bay, the entire set so they're building part of this set. You see where the corner is, where the chest set goes, and that's the set you've bought that you can already buy, that you already have. But now they're making, I mean, this is monstrously huge. And so they've added a new back piece that has the entire wall with the corridor opening there. So keep in mind, what you're looking at is what they're making. So you have to have bought this already. This is that corner piece to get these pieces. But then here's what they're making. They're making the rest of it. So this is an entire, I mean, I don't even know. This would probably fill up a 120, a 120 Modu case, because this is huge. Huge. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine, dude? I look at this and I'm like, oh my God, and I already have half of it or a quarter of it. So, I mean, would that be something that you would ever go for?
If I would have, if I had the respective 1 in 6 figures.
Right. See, I've got Solo, Kenobi.
I
yeah, I do. And I'm like, but I don't know where you would put that.
No, this would have to be in the new house, which we are £2 towards.
Right, you've raised £2 for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're on your way.
We're getting there. Getting there bit by bit. But yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, this is the stuff that we should dreamed of as a kid.
Yeah.
Dreamed of getting this sort of thing. And you know, you've got a quarter of it.
I've got a quarter of it.
Yeah. So you could, even if they release the other 2 halves, you could have 1 half above and 1 half below. And
yeah. Although I gotta say, I mean, I look at this thing and I mean, this would be really impressive. Now, I don't even if you had the figures, you've got Han, Chewie, R2, 3PO, Leia, maybe Ben. You could have Luke. You could do a bunch of scenes put together. You could do Luke practicing on the remote with Obi-Wan. You could have R2, 3PO, and Chewie playing the holographic chess. and then you could have Han and Leia there, even though it wasn't exactly the scene. And if you really want to go even further, you know, you could even have old Han and Chewie in there and do a whole scene that represents the history of the Millennium Falcon. You could even get like the Alden Enright Han Solo figure and just put everybody who's ever hung out. I don't know if I'd ever get Finn and Rey, but you could if you wanted to, and do the whole history of the Millennium Falcon in one image. If that floated.
I'm very confused because I was with you up until you, and then you said something like an old Han Solo.
I know. I
can't recall this, and then an Aaron Reich at Han Solo. These words mean nothing to me. I
know.
I don't know. I think you've been, having a bit too much at lunchtime, maybe. And
hey, listen, since this is a shorter show than usual because I have to jump on a stream, we have some super chats, and the first one comes from Too Much Fucking Scissoring. Too Much Fucking Scissoring writes,
that'll be one of mine then.
and this is after what you said, as I just rewatched the amazing V for Vendetta. Would you agree that the 80s riots clips used is something that affects Brits more than others watching?
I mean, I think other people can relate to the riots, but if you're of a certain age in Britain, then, those riots that they showed off, I'm pretty sure were like the miners, were the union, essentially the union riots, the miners' strike, and it's the Thatcher year riots, which they showed off. So, yeah, I mean, I even still remember news reports as a kid. You'd turn on the news, I'd be a little boy, and all you would see was just the rioting in the streets. And I think for a Brit, it's more poignant, sure. But I still think, anyone can relate to riots. Anyone can understand and appreciate uprisings and how the populace can do this stuff. But yeah, it's a very British miniseries or maxi series, whichever one you want to call it.
Yes. She Stays Rent Free sends in a super chat and says, do you think we will see Blue Marvel in the Marvels? Blue Marvel is, of course, Adam Brashear. He is a black character, and he debuted in Adam Legends of the Blue Marvel 1 back in November of 2008. He's worked with Luke Cage. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility. That's why they called the movie Marvels, so you would have Kamala.
I just think we're getting Kamala, Monica Rambeau, and Ms. Marvel.
And Ms. Marvel. I probably think you're correct for that, but maybe. You never know. Although
Monica Rambeau is going to check Captain Marvel's privilege, and Ms. Marvel's going to check both of their privilege, and it's going to be such a fun film.
I have more hope than that, though. Maybe. I know hope springs eternal.
I've actually got less hope than I said that.
Shane O'Reilly sends in a couple of super chats. Thank you, Shane. Roger H sends in a super chat. No questions or comments, but thank you for supporting the channel. I love this. Butt Crack Media sent in an 8. I think it's an 8. It's either an 8-cent super chat. But I want to say thank you, Butt Crack Media. That's clever. I like that. But any support of the channel, I thank you. Stubble McShave says, by popular demand, I think we all would like to know how far Az would go. How far would he go when it comes to aliens? Okay. All right. So this is something that comes up on this channel a lot. I discuss, would you make love to an alien? Or as I like to say, would you fuck an alien? And we always, because, Amanda and Sarek, Spock's father, is with a human.
Yeah.
And, of course, in Aliens, it doesn't matter if it's Octurian. Doesn't matter. And then, of course, a lot of humanoid species, obviously. The diva in The Fifth Element who sings. She's pretty hot. But the question is, let's say you met an alien xenomorph and you guys really hit it off. Do you think you could see yourself going that alien? Could you fornicate with the xenomorph?
No.
Not even if you liked her and you guys really hit it off?
How the excuse my French.
Sentient. She's smart. The xenomorph.
Am I going to hit it off with a xenomorph?
Well, let's assume a xenomorph's intelligent, and you find out that
she
she's,
drools on me. I start to fall apart.
That's a good point. I never really got into the logistics of it, but
do you want a blowjob? No. No.
All right. That is a resounding no.
No.
From you.
I'm humanoidist. I you can play the game on Star Trek where you kind of go, yeah, I'd bang them. I'd bang that species. I'd bang that species. But no, xenomorph. No, are you fucking crazy? Whoever said that question, I say this with love, you're fucking mental. Mental. You're thinking about it, Robert, aren't you? I can tell you're thinking about
it. It's been an ongoing concern on Robservations. We've been having this, and last weekend on the Midnight Metal stream, it was a long, where would you go? Who would you go? Who would you do? How far could you push that? And it's been a constant thing. 200 Watt Studio sends in a super chat and says, I know it's not the show today, but I got the German 4K box set of Rollerball. Ooh, oh my God, is it beautiful? Thank you for the heads up, Rob. And hello, Az. Well, 200 Watt Studio, it is. I love that set. It's like a 5-disc set of the original 1975 Rollerball with James Caan, which I love. And so there you go.
James Caan!
So good. Jonathan. S. Beam sends in a super chat and says, Cooley is, it's Quill. Is it Quill? Quill is an instant pre-order for me. Oh, I think so too. Okay. I'm into it. Harry Nice Guy sends in a super chat and says, hey folks, how does it work with these toy companies? Are they picked by the franchise owners to make those toys, or is it the other way around? Well, from what I understand, they have to make a pitch. You have to go to the franchise owners and make that pitch to them. And, I know that Hot Toys began, I think their first licensed figure was Ethan Hunt, or maybe that was still bootleg from the Mission Impossible franchise. But they have to go show their wares and say, here's what we can do, and settle on a licensing fee. I know that when 15 years ago when Hot Toys was first making Aliens and Predator figures, which are great, they called them action figure kits because other licensees, they couldn't compete with other licensees, so you had to put it all together. And like when you get their early Predators, you had to put on that mesh net suit that the Predators have underneath their armor, and that was a total pain in the ass because if you weren't really careful, you could tear that mesh suit. And then later when they re-released their Predator figures, which I highly recommend, Hot Toys Predator figures are things of beauty. They luckily they had put those wire suits, the not wires, but what is it? What you call it? String suit, the wire, the mesh suits.
The mesh. Yeah, I'll say
they
mesh.
put them on for yourself. So, so that's how they do it. People have to appeal because the franchise owners have to know from you, how are you going to do this? How are you going to pull this off? How are you going to make what you said you could make? How are you going to make that happen? So, the next one, Mr. Tickle Trunk says, oh my God, what have we done? We badgered Az so much about Babylon 5 that he collapsed and he missed Justin's streams. We fans have become monsters. Looks down at his hands and whispers, what have we become? Missed you last night, but very glad you rested. Did you have some crazy Babylon 5 stream? Okay, you just started watching it, right?
Well, yeah, Gary and I have started watching Babylon. Well, okay. I say these words with love. We were pestered. People kept saying, please watch Babylon 5. There's nothing wrong pestering. Pestering's fine. Because sometimes through pestering you discover great things. And so we said, okay, we're gonna watch Babylon 5. Some beautiful person sent me the box set.
Wow, okay.
In the post, sent me the box set. Before we'd even made a decision, they just sent it in a PO box and they sent the additional series afterwards. And so Gary and I said, okay, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. So I watched the first, I think 11 episodes, well, 10 episodes, and I've watched another one since. And then, you know, I'm busy. Gary's busy, probably busier than I am. And he couldn't, you know, go through quite as many. And so he managed to get through like 3. And then it was like, we just kept getting emails, the both of us. And when we're doing the show, we were getting people tweeting at us and have we done this every time? I'm just like, please.
And the funny thing is, it doesn't really get great until season 2 too. So season 1 can be very uneven and a little rough going at first.
I've been loving it.
Oh, good. Okay, well that's good.
I'm 11 episodes in, and like the last 5 or so have just been like diamonds. They've been great.
Dude, you're gonna. No, you're not even there. You'll see. You guys should really finish the show. I'm gonna start. But
I know it's love. I know they're doing it because they want us to experience what they've experienced, and they're keen for us to get through it as soon as possible. But you know, we just gotta kind of go through it at the pace that we can go through. You know.
Well, at least you're doing it. You're listening to fan feedback, and you're giving them what they want.
Yes. Well, kind of. They want more. I mean, it started off with just watch it, and you know, we'll do a little talk about it in the show. Then it's starting to kind of, when are you going to start doing an episode by episode review?
Yeah.
Like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. Predator 1987X sends in a super chat and says, "Hi guys, love the shave as. Tomorrow is my birthday. Excited to see what goodies my mom has gotten me. She's into my collection as well and loves my Godzillas." Oh, well, that's good. You know,
birthday, dude.
Yeah, it's always good when mom goes out and picks up. When I was younger, when my mom would come home with action figures for me, it was a glorious day. A glorious day. So happy birthday to you, sir. And please say hi to your mother. Please say hi to your mother for me.
She already knows with me.
Our friend Terje, who I like to say Terje, Tiberius Mork, all the way from Norway, one of my oldest friends via social media. He says, "I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a 6-scale Picard, over, I don't even know what this word is, over extriated villain Frenchman with an eye patch figure." Yes, I'm never buying a Picard 12-inch figure from Picard. No. Can you imagine? He's supposed to be French, and they have him dress up as some Inspector Clouseau cliche Frenchman. From like what era? When did Picard ever see a Frenchman like the one he was playing in? I mean,
well,
come on, man.
I got to be honest with you, right? Before that episode came out, they released some promotional images, and it had them in their outfit, you know, the outfits of him with his. Honest to God, and I'm not even kidding here. Honest to God, just thought they were mucking about backstage. I thought they were shots from backstage, and they were just getting dressed up in stupid shit and taking photos to make it look like they're having fun doing Picard. And then when I saw them dress up in the show,
dude, my
heart literally just, I mean, it was already pretty low, but it sank the rest of the way down. And the voice, just stop it. Stop trying to do a French accent. It's no, because you know the irony, right? The irony is that when you probably know this story yourself, but when Patrick Stewart auditioned for the role, number one, they stuck a toupee on him.
Yep.
And number two, they asked him initially to do a French accent, and then they were just like, "This is awful." And so he finishes his audition, leaves. They're all going, "This is awful and dreadful." The guy who you know, is just like, "No, he's really good. He's a great thespian." Picard. Patrick Stewart's taken he's ripped the wig off. No, he's taken the toupee off now. And he manages to talk the people in the audition to getting him back in without the wig, without the accent. So he manages to catch up with him, drags him back in. He's not got the wig on now. He just does a British accent. Then they see, and it changes their minds. But
yep.
when you go to your first audition and they're just like, shut up with that French shit.
Mm-hmm.
To do it later on is just vanity. They said I couldn't do a French accent. Oh la la! Stop it.
I know.
As please do a Scot accent. I can do a fucking Scottish accent if I want. I'll do a fucking Scottish accent. It's fucking easy. Like, it's just like, it depends on what place in Scotland you come from, but it's just like the fucking British are fucking pricks, just pricks. Fucking hoity. Anyway, depends.
Mr. Tickle Trunk says, you guys are always a great distraction. You're YouTube soul food. Like I said last night, I'm not a buyer, but I never miss you two. And now Justin talking about shit you love with great energy, gushing over items of absolutely incredible craftsmanship. Thank you. Well, Mr. Tickle Trunk, I appreciate that. I just love the fact that we live in a day and age where now as aging man-children, we can actually go publicly on the internet and wax rhapsodic about basically toys we've never been able to shake since childhood. And now, rather than perhaps pursue things that most adults would, we don't have to. And it's all because, and we're doing it publicly. And no one,
women love it.
And people love, and they watch us, and people watch us, and it's fantastic. So, Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you so much for that. By the way, thank you for the support, but mostly thank you for the fact that I feel validated when people say, you know what, it's okay that you go talk about toys on the internet, because if I ever have to get a corporate job, I'm sure what HR would ask me first is, so what is this fully articulated? What's going on here? I mean, how are we going to trust you with our company image? And I'm like, well, perhaps you're not going to, but,
Do you like toys?
If you want to.
No, I'm into fine wines and spirits and right.
Yes.
Did you watch Blake 7?
Do you know who Servalon is?
I recall it being on the television once or twice as a child, maybe, but other than that, bag puss. I know.
My good friend, that's her name. Sends in a super chat. She's delightful. She was actually on one of my streams over the weekend. I'd never met her face to face. Well, at least face to face via the internet. So thank you for that. And let me see. Apollomi? Apollomi's Minion. Do you know Apollomi's Minion?
Polyminion, yeah.
Is that what it is? Apollomi? What is it? Apollomi. How's that? Hello, Az. Your Batman is trying to be delivered to you. Hey, R&B. Well, hello. That's okay. Apollomi. Yeah, Apollomi, not Apollo. I'm thinking Apollo like the Apollo program.
I saw them panicking. Don't panic, because you're sending it to my PO box. So if it's attempted to be delivered today, it would be at the PO box address, not here, because the PO box isn't my address. So it would be arriving at the PO box today. Then they would take it in. Then in a few days it would come to me. So I wouldn't worry if I were you.
Well, that's good to hear. That's a good thing. Apollomi, got that. Thanks for that, though. Thanks for supporting the channel. Manowar 665, neighbor of the beast, says, I was considering buying the 1/12 Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Then I saw the Warner Brothers animated version, the WB animated version. What the fuck was that horror show, Az? Look how they massacred my boy. Nice Godfather reference.
Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of people that sing the praises of the DC animated universe. As somebody who's read a lot of the source material that they take from, I'm not massively impressed with it at all. Because they tend to butcher. Beautiful book, incredible books like The Killing Joke. The animated Killing Joke is a joke. It's so bizarre that they take creative license with something that's amazing and have the ego, the hubris to think that they're making it better.
Yes.
There's a reason why it's so revered. Gotham by Gaslight is an incredible one shot. It's a brilliant one shot.
It really is. I really love Gotham by Gaslight. But so, have you seen the Mezco figure? The 1/12.
Yes.
Would you get that figure? Is that something you'd get?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to now steer myself away from the other plastic stuff because of wanting to focus on the hot toys instead. But yeah, I do dip. I still dip in. You know, the other day I got the Azrael, so I could easily see myself picking up the Gotham by Gaslight one.
Yeah, sure.
Great outfit. It's a great outfit. And
it is really cool. It absolutely is. Yeah, I don't. You know, it's funny. I have a few. I've only bought their movie figures, like the Diabolic figure and the Clockwork Orange figure, and but I like the figures of the Warriors box set, things that I didn't have in 6 scale, and I thought those were really good, and I like those figures.
I'd love 1 in 6 Warriors hot toys.
Well, yeah, they don't make that yet. I wish that, man, I would love to, because I love the Warriors, so I would love to, man, I'd love to get those figures. Oh, that'd be so good.
Great film. It's a great film.
Yeah. Velox Aquitus sends in a super chat and says, do you think, this is a good question, do you think we'll see a 6 scale Omni-Man, and what company will make it? Omni-Man being from Invincible. I can almost guarantee you, I don't know if they're going to do a licensed Omni-Man, but I'm sure a third party will. Somebody's going to make Omni-Man.
It'll be what would he call Omni-Man? All-knowing man. Everywhere man.
Yeah, somebody's going to do that.
Something like that. I would. Just like they did with the Homelander, I would snap that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to get that Homelander figure. Oh.
Have a good night.
The Great Muda sends in a super chat and says, come again, either of you gents ever get into Exo Squad toys? I miss them so. Always Kirk the Aliens, green gals for the win. You know, I know, not a xenomorph, but a green girl. I'm with you there. I remember Exo Squad, but I never bought those toys. They were always trying to. There's a lot of great like toy lines that all these companies would do in the wake of whether it was He-Man or G.I. Joe or something, or combining the two. And I remember Exo Squad, but I never got into those toys. I was a little too old, I think, when they came out. But I remember there was a lot of advertising in comic books for those toys, and I remember them. I could see them in my mind's eye.
I don't even remember them.
Oh, they were pretty cool.
Here's someone's got a great picture. I mean, I was probably, because you hit that age. You hit that age where you're just like, toys are for kids.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking of, you're thinking, and rightly so, when you purchase a toy, you open it and you play with it.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, of course, we're like, we put them in cabinets and we look at them. We marvel at their majesty and their beauty. So yeah, you get to that age where you're kind of like, nah, that's a kiddies. Stupid toys. I'm a man.
I know. Let's see. Darius Munchausen sends in a super chat and says, I never knew I'd enjoy watching men with toys so much. Well,
hey, ladies.
You, Darius. I mean, what's not to love about men with toys? Especially that know how to wield them.
Hey-o.
Always a good thing. But thank you for that, Darius. Nick Titan Aries sends in a super chat and says, also, what happens with her? Lubrication is acidic or alkali, or their natural body balance? I don't know. I think you might be right. I don't know what to tell you. It's a good question, though. Peter Pacheco sends in a super chat and says, 2 of my favorite plastic crack dealers. Oh, that's a good question. What is the best Luke figure in your opinion? Was on Justin's stream last night also. Well, Peter, thanks for being on the stream. Thanks for joining us. Justin was going to be here today, but he was too tired to do the stream. He sent me an email at like his time about 4:55 in the morning and said, I'm really sorry. I'm just too exhausted. I can't do it. So we're all in good company. And that's fine. What do you think, Az? I mean, there's a lot of good Luke figures. Like, I really like my DX Bespin Luke from like that Hot Toys put out along. I have those. It came with 2 Luke figures and the Bespin gantry. One is beaten Luke and bloody Luke with no hand, and it comes with a gantry that he's hanging off of at the bottom of Bespin of Cloud City, or actually Bespin's the planet, but Cloud City.
Yeah.
And then there is and it also comes with Luke when he first lands in his fatigues, and then there's Jedi Luke. You know, do you have any of the? And then there's a original New Hope Luke that I never got the Hot Toys New Hope Luke, but Justin found me one because I need to put it in my trusty Jazz Inc. land speeder that I keep behind me.
I mean, I have the Return of the Jedi Luke.
Now, do you have the Sideshow one or the Hot Toys one?
The Sideshow one that comes with the poncho for Endor and the robe for Jabba's palace, so you can, you can change it depending on which part of the film you want to position Luke at. I'm really looking forward to the Snow Speeder Luke,
dude, and the Snow Speeder from Jazz Inc.
So I'm really looking forward to that one, because if that one looks as good as it looks, that could potentially be my fave, because I've always loved Luke in his X-Wing outfit. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Peter, there you go. That X-Wing fighter or X-Wing pilot Luke figure looks amazing. Proud Toxic Babylon 5 fan sends in a super chat and says, "We love being toxic, as love you so much."
You're not toxic. You're enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic. Roger H says, "As, do you have a P.O. box? I searched for one across your social media, but to no avail."
Yes, if you go to any YouTube video of mine, just go into the description box. If you go into the description box, it's got my Twitter, my Instagram, and it's got my P.O. box details.
Have you ever gotten anything really weird at your P.O. box?
No, just beautiful, lovely things from lovely people.
Yeah, me too. I've been lucky.
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate and very blessed by people's generosity and what they've sent across to us. Or their ingenuity. I've had I did have a 3D printed unicorn head because of the phallic unicorn soup sticker.
Right. Well, I like that. Terrier is actually back. Says, just to make sure I don't get judged for being an Amazon Picard boy toy, it was awful. It was like a vacuum trying to hoover my life energy. Well, I agree with you there.
Can't wait.
Terrier, you are the man.
A robot.
Norwegian Kryptonian says, "Where is my 1/6 Ocean Man figure?" I'd buy one of those. Maybe we got to get a third party to do it.
Yeah, a third party Ocean Man.
Yeah,
and then we'll sell all 3.
Thaddeus Maximus sends in a super chat and says, "Fade in, just sending us some support for a good man. If we all show our love for each other and support people with integrity, we can take back our culture. Hail RMB and Az." Yeah, I was getting dinged on Twitter yesterday. Dave Rubin made a funny tweet about Vader, and I retweeted it. And somebody comes after me and goes, "How dare you retweet Dave Rubin?" And I what was so interesting is I said, but I watch Dave Rubin. I appreciate his deep dive conversations with people. And someone said he only interviews right-wing trash. And I said, well, wait a minute. I watch people from all walks of life that have all different points of view, because that's how I learn. If I only watched people that I necessarily agreed with or liked, well, what would I know? And then and then people are chiming in going, Dave Rubin's had some really interesting people on his show, like, and this guy gave me a litany of why all of this was terrible. Like, everybody was terrible, all the people, and I'm like, well, I understand the polarization of culture, but I like just learning. I'll listen to people I cannot stand to hear what they have to say, because I want to know what they have to say. You know, I mean, I just don't understand why anybody would only listen. Living in an echo chamber, what do you learn? I mean, having my own opinion.
You learn the latest software update. That's what you learn.
That's about it. Yeah, I've always thought that was crazy. So Thaddeus Maximus, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that.
But I've never picked your brain about this, but this is very interesting, particularly you as somebody who's, been in the producing and directing game, editing game, the whole job lot. How in the blue hell does Kathleen Kennedy read the fade in?
What do you mean? How does she read it?
Well, you are aware that of the Oscars, the women in Oscars when
Yes,
and she started by reading off the fade in bit.
I don't know. See, when someone like Tom Cruise walks out and gives a speech, right? He'll go, fade in, imagine a door, a light shining through the door. Like he's giving you the whole thing. Yeah. But look, here's the thing. I just chalk it up to the fact that, she's reading what's on the teleprompter, and probably thought someone would cut that out. That's all I can say. Because when you're a lot of people, believe it or not, when they're put on camera, they don't necessarily not like the amazing witticisms that just drop out of our tongues or off our tongues. Not a lot of people who aren't used to speaking. But yeah, that wasn't good.
I would say that Kathleen Kennedy has a wee bit of experience in this field.
I know.
Apparently.
Look, man, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
I know.
But you're right. That's why I think it says fade in. I thought what Thaddeus was saying. Fade in. Just sending some support. See, I would say just fade in. Two men from other sides of the world talk together on YouTube. That's you got to give me a setup. Aurora Uplinks sent in a super chat and says, I always like the Shadows of the Empire pack Luke that has him wear a Crimson Guard uniform for some reason with a removable helmet. I remember that. That was back in the 90s. Because I'm a Shadows. I like Shadows of the Empire. It's not great, but I liked it. That was cool. David L sends in a super chat saying, hi, I'm thinking about getting the 1/6 G.I. Joe Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. They're $144 each. Is this a good company for 1/6 scale? They're made by 3-0. Yes, 3-0 is a great company. They do a lot of great figures. I would recommend them. The only thing about 3-0 is sometimes they don't come with stands. So you might have to buy a third-party stand. But I like 3. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I've actually seen them, and I think they're pretty good. I sort of tempted myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, absolutely. If it's wetting you a bit, you can definitely get that with confidence. As Robert said, they do though sometimes not come with stand.
Yeah.
So you might have to go into the Amazons and go grab yourself a third-party stand. But at least if you do that, you can get a stand that you prefer.
Yeah. I think it's a good company though. Fabrice says, Robin Az, I already know you'd want to see an Authority Transmetropolitan adaptation. Oh, I know. I would love either one of those. I would love to see them adapt the original Authority series. That'd be amazing. With Invincible, everything is possible. Any idea? Well, I've not heard of an Authority or a Transmetropolitan series, but I would watch either one of those. I'd watch the hell out of those. And
I'd be more excited for a Transmetropolitan, I gotta say.
Yeah, me too. Although I did love the first Authority. I mean, I'd love to get a Spider Jerusalem figure with the different colored lenses and the glasses. I mean, I loved Transmetropolitan. Transmet. Loved it.
I do know some series which are coming. I can't say, but I do know some series which are going to come out.
Terrier says a 6-scale Airwolf. I'd buy that for $1. A 6-scale Airwolf would be badass, but you know how big that would be? I mean, that would be huge. Maybe Jazz Inc. will make a 6-scale Airwolf. But then you'd have to get a Jan Michael Vincent action figure, and I don't know if that's ever
wouldn't
gonna
you
happen.
wouldn't you rather have a 1 in 6 kit?
Yes. That would be cool.
And then we could get a Michael Knight.
That would actually be cool to get the car.
Oh no, just get the Hoffen kit to get. Oh man.
Yeah.
And the front has the LED goes.
Yeah. The woo, the Cylon. Yeah. David L sends in a super chat and says, "Thanks, guys. I wasn't sure of the company. Yeah, it's good company. Good company. Very legit. They do a lot of good work." Well, listen, we have to end this stream early today. It's not going to go on for 2.5 hours, but I wanted to say something. There is a documentary. A lot of people might have seen it all over. They're crowdfunding it, called In Search of Tomorrow, the definitive 80s sci-fi documentary. Oh. These guys are grassroots. Let me put up the picture. And they've crowdfunded. They've made a couple other documentaries that are really, really fantastic. But if you look, they're crowdfunding this, and this is the last. I mean, normally I don't jump. People always ask me to promote crowdfunding, but I really like this project. I think they make something that's really good. They are in last hours. Their crowdfunding ends today. And I figured I would just take it upon myself to throw out, I'll put in the live chat, if you're interested, I'd say go support these guys because they're doing some great work. And when you look at the trailer and because they've fought hard to get people like Peter Weller to come back and be interviewed about RoboCop and things like that. I can't wait to see this documentary. And these guys bust their ass. So I put the link in the chat. If you want to go support their documentary, please do so. Maybe it ran out already and I'm late, but if not, check it out and support this documentary because it really does look to be the definitive. I just put it on. It's Kickstarter. Yeah, it's on Kickstarter. I just put the Kickstarter link in the chat. So, yeah, you can check on that, and I highly recommend supporting this. It is a great project. Then it is Indiegogo. No, it's their link. It's their link. I got the link from them, so it is Indiegogo. My mistake. Yeah, my mistake. It's Indiegogo. So, check that out. I think that's the right link. Oh, there you go. Well, if you want to support them. I think they're great, and I can't wait to see this. I hope they just put this on physical media. I want that. Wow. It's really, really. What they're doing is really, really good, and they're getting everybody. The people they've interviewed, you won't believe. Just you watch I can't believe how many people they've. Just because as a DVD special features producer, it's hard to wrangle interviews. Their interview list of people is very impressive. Aurora, give it a tweet out. Aurora Uplinks sends in a super chat and says, "Oh, you guys gave me a terrible idea. 1-to-1 true scale vehicles for car collectors and helicopter collectors. Come on, would that be such a terrible idea? 1-to-1 true scale." Yeah, that would be very difficult to do. Well, listen, I am going to jump off because I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm going on a stream at 2:00 with Mikey Sutton, who is one of the great Marvel scoopers, bringing scoop information. I've never streamed with him, but I've always liked him, and I will. It's it's a special brew. If you want to join us, it's already been tweeted out, but here's a link if you want to go find me on this stream. I've never streamed with these lovely folks before, but it should be a lot of fun. Here's the link. You can go find me at 2:00. And I think Mikey Sutton's going to drop some big Marvel scoop. So there you go. So come check it out. Anyway, should be fun. But do you have anything coming in? What do you got? You know what? I haven't. I've left that Search for Tomorrow thing up, and I left it up too long, so I apologize. What are you waiting for? What's coming? Do you have anything coming?
Justice Mobile. Right, would be nice.
Might show up, might not. You know.
I have a delivery arriving on Friday from Toys Wonderland.
Can you say what it is? Or you're going to wait, show us next week?
You kind of already know what it is. I kind of said it last week. I've got those couple of stands.
Oh, yes.
Arriving. So they're actually arriving on Friday. So I got those coming in. Other than that, I don't think anything else has been cycled for.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. We're just waiting here in the United States for things that Justin already has to be released.
Yeah, stuff which is released that Sideshow have delayed, even though they've now released.
Yeah. At least delayed here.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Thanks.
Well, on that note, I would say, let me see. I think I've got through everyone. Yes, I've gotten through everyone. I want to thank everybody for supporting, this one-off show that we've now done over 20 weeks. It's amazing. I want to thank all of you for supporting us. I guess next week we'll be on Az's channel. Hopefully Justin will join us, and he has all the news and the knowledge about all of this. He knows more than we do, so it's always fun. And maybe I'll have my Freddie Mercury set so I can take live on camera. I can stuff the peen down. I'll put the pants on. I haven't been able to do that yet because I have the body, the anatomically correct body, and the part, but I don't have my. It was mailed to me quite some time ago, my Freddie Mercury, but he'll go behind me with Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon, but unfortunately not yet. Maybe I'll have that. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel with super chats and tips generously. Thank you. If you want to, what I just realized, I can't sign off right now. You know why? We have we have letters, and I have been remiss. Wait a second.
Your stream's starting in a few minutes, so you're gonna have to do letters.
Let me find one letter. Let me find. It's
a short show, so you can't expect to get everything in.
I know. This one comes from Bob Shirley. After all the goodies the Post-Geek Singularity has turned me onto, I wanted to make sure you were aware of these figures. I also CC'd Az at the only contact address I had. Bob is telling us, I'm pledging for these figures, even though they didn't do a life-size rover or a mini Moke vehicle. Maybe an upcoming stretch goal. Be seeing you, Bob. Well, Bob, we do know about the Prisoner figures, and I want to thank you for pointing it out. A lot of people wanted to make sure we didn't miss them. So,
it's all good. Yeah, do appreciate that. But boy, Robert and I
we were all at. Also, I just want to point out that this was, let's see, MJ BCOM 64 also wanted to make us aware of the Prisoner action figures. So, yep. Now I'm going to read this really crazy. This is from Crazy Eyed Jedi.
Okay.
Writes.
Oh, okay. I know who they are. Yeah.
Crazy Eyed Jedi says, since watching you and Az your Hot Toys shows, I went from collecting lightsabers, wife was happy, until she saw they cost about the same. When I got the Mark 43 Iron Man and the Spider-Man $20.99, and he sent pictures, so let me throw these pictures quickly up, and I'm fighting time here, but since he wrote in, and he did send in pictures, although this picture, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in the framing of your Spider-Man $20.99 and Iron Man Mark 43, which, by the way, might be my favorite Iron Man hot toy. So let me just get these and throw these up, because I don't want to be remiss. Somebody takes the time to send me a picture. Here's the picture that they sent. Here is your Spider-Man 20. I took the whole picture. Here's the Spider-Man 2099 hot toy, along with the Mark 43 from Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. And so thank you for sending that in. And you also showed me what your wife, I guess your wife doesn't have a problem with these lightsabers, which actually this is a pretty cool thing. lightsabers mounted on the wall. I like this. That's cool. And you certainly have the right crew in between those lightsabers. So thank you for that. And now, I also want to thank my moderating staff for being the great moderators that they are. Darren Seeley is here. Joshua Levesque is here. Brian Hepburn is here. I think I saw Purple Valkyrie in here, so thank you for Purple Valkyrie for being here. I want to thank them for being great. I want to tell them that I will be back on Robservations this afternoon at 3 o'clock, or 3:30. Where can people find you?
You can find me on HeelsvsBabyFace here on YouTube, at HeelsvsBabyFace on Twitwat, and Heel_versus_babyface on Instagram.
Ooh. Well, once again, something that we started as a lark. It was your idea. Hey, let's do one show about toys. All right. Now we're approaching half a year, maybe.
22 weeks in, I think now.
Yeah, 22 weeks in. My God, that's crazy. But we're all the better for it. So I want to thank everybody for supporting us, supporting this show. And today, it was pretty great. Pretty great. On my channel, having 300 people watch us talk about toys is a good thing. So thank you for being here. We'll be back next week for Hot Toys on Az's channel, and maybe we'll show up on Justin's live streams too. You never know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dose myself up with some
You never know.
concoctions.
And I would say to everyone, I guess, of course,
Be
seeing you. And on that note, have a better day. And we